One of the unique programs we have is our Business Prime program. And this is really designed for those students who are looking to work for financial institutions in the future. With a Prime program, students manage an active portfolio worth around 2 million Canadian dollars, which is traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So you get to research companies and see if they're good investments and then invest in them. And my understanding is in the last few years, it's been able to beat the tracker index for the TSX. It's outperformed the stock market. Wow. Students in that Prime program are in very high demand. So many of our big banks in Canada and from the US will come and actively recruit the students in that Prime program.
And hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Coffee Chat with Adam. I have my coffee right here. And John, do you have your coffee with you?
Or I do. I'm especially prepared for it.
Starbucks.
That's all good.
Love that. So today is another episode of Coffee Chat with Adam, as I said, and I'm joined by John Gregory from University of Alberta. So John, I think I'm ready to get into the questions, and I have the very simple first question that I usually ask is just, I would like to know more about you, about your position at the university, and also some of the duties that you have working for the university.
Yeah. So my name's John Gregory. I'm originally from the UK. Came to Alberta many years ago when I was an international student. I did an exchange year from the University of London, so came to U of A and met my wife while studying here and have been a big fan of the university ever since. Currently, I'm the Director of International Recruitment at the university. We're a very international university, and around 15% of our population are international students. So we're popular with both international students and Canadian students. My job is to speak with students who are interested in studying abroad and tell them about the advantages of studying here at the University of Alberta.
And I'm sure there are many advantages to studying at the University of Alberta. Definitely.
We like
definitely.
to think so.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we're having the talk today, so we can learn more about these advantages today. So could you please tell us more about the university itself? So some background information, history probably, what makes the university more unique, and all the other.
The university was founded about 110 years ago, 1908. So one of the oldest institutions in the province of Alberta. May seem relatively modern in European terms, but for Canada, it's quite old, particularly for Western Canada. Yeah. We're a large university. Just under about 40,000 students study with us. We're ranked in the top 5 universities in Canada and in the top 150 in the world. We also have very good graduate employment outcomes. According to the QS rankings for graduate employment, we're in the top 100 in the world and number 2 in Canada for employment rates. So we provide both a very good academic education but also excellent career prospects. The last week's been a very exciting time at the University of Alberta. We've been celebrating one of our faculty members, Dr. Michael Houghton, winning the Nobel Prize in Medicine for 2020.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He was part of the team who discovered the hepatitis C virus. The university has a big virology center, which is currently working on various vaccines, including the one for COVID as well. We have a lot of different faculties, 18 faculties in total, so you can pretty much study whatever you would like with us. And we're a full research university, so we offer a full range of programs, bachelor's, master's, PhD. We focus a lot on co-op opportunities for our students, which is reflected by that employment rate I talked about earlier. And we're also known for being a very friendly, welcoming place in Alberta as well. So it's kind of some of the highlights I outlined there.
I think it's great that you mentioned all of these points, because I think one of the great selling points is actually the location for students when selecting university, and knowing University of Alberta is located not only just in Canada but also in the province of Alberta is also quite attractive to many students, especially in Vietnam. So you did say the university is focused on research as well. So actually I wanted to learn more about the teaching methodology that the university uses. Is it heavily research focused, or is it like industry and research focused, or there's a balance in between?
Yeah, so when you start your classes, it's a 4-year degree in Canada. So in the first year, the focus will be primarily on teaching, learning the basics of the subjects. Once you advance through your degree, then there'll be greater opportunities to undertake research. Many of our students go on to graduate and doctoral studies at a later date. So you would probably start off with more a teaching approach to learn the basics of the subject you're looking to study. And then by the 4th year, you'll be doing a lot more research-based teaching. One of the differences between Canada and maybe other countries is the degrees are quite broad. So although you may be entering for a business degree, there's the opportunity to do a number of subjects from other areas as well. So like compared to the UK, with the UK you tend to focus on one area for the duration of the degree. With Canada, there's a flexibility to take a variety of subjects and really see what you like before focusing. Our business degree would be a good option. You don't actually select your major until your 3rd year, so you've had that opportunity to take a variety of business courses and courses from another discipline, and then choose from one of the majors we offer for your Bachelor of Commerce degree. There's over 16 majors in total students can choose from.
So is it also an option for students to choose a double major, or how they are?
In some cases, yes, that would typically extend the duration of your degree. So maybe you'll be studying for 5 years, and there's often an opportunity to add a minor option as well. So maybe mum and dad are very keen on you studying accountancy, but maybe you have a passion for another subject, maybe in the arts. So you could maybe do an accountancy degree with an arts program as your minor option.
And for the minor is also going to increase the duration to 5 years?
Not necessarily, no. With a minor, you can normally complete the minor requirements within that 4-year period. It's more of a double major, which would typically take a little longer.
So there are options for students, and this is good to know, because I do have to let you know that nowadays, apparently, I think it's always, but recently, like I think with COVID, a lot of students are considering a double major bachelor's degree if possible, and it's good to learn that the university, but to know the university does have this option for students if they like to choose that as a pathway for themselves. What I would like to ask you more about is as you know, the students who are going to be watching this episode today are interested in studying the NCUK International Foundation Program, and a lot of these students would like to know about the requirements that the university have for NCUK students. So we're looking at the subject streams, if possible.
Yep. So we're proud to be the Canadian partner of the NCUK network of colleges. So from NCUK, we do require 3 academic subjects in the International Foundation year. And one of them, if you're looking to go into business, must be a math course as well. And we accept 2 other academic subjects. So math and 2 other academic subjects would be a good combination to join us with.
Right. And I think for the language, we would expect students to have at least an IELTS 6.0 or 6.5 IELTS equivalent score.
Yeah, so for our language criteria, students would be required to have an IELTS 6.5 with no band below 6.0.
Right.
There are alternative English qualifications students can take, but we do recommend IELTS for students based in Vietnam. If you have that 6.5, you can then apply for the Student Direct Stream visa, which simplifies your study permit application to Canada. It requires less documents and also speeds up the time in which your study permit will be processed in. So that would be helpful for you if you're looking to come to Canada.
Definitely. It's good to know. This is good information for students to know about before they decide to come to the university or apply to the university in advance. Another point that I wanted to ask you more about is scholarships. Scholarships are quite attractive, not only for their the reward, the prize that they could provide the students with, but also the sense of achievement that the students receive from obtaining these scholarships. So what are some of the scholarships that are available for students to apply for at the university?
Yep, so we have a lot of scholarships. Many of our scholarships are automatically awarded based on your NCUK grades at the time of admission. So no separate application is required for them. You'll be evaluated as soon as you apply and send in your transcripts. We have an international country scholarship, which is valued at $5,000, and we award that to all applicants from Vietnam. So alongside that $5,000 one, you could qualify for our international student scholarship, which is up to $9,000 a year. And if you're a really top student, we also offer the $6,000 gold standard scholarship. You could be awarded all of these 3 scholarships if you have top grades, and that's automatically no need for a separate application. So for gold standard, international student scholarship, and the country scholarship, so that would be about $20,000 in automatic scholarships to start. If you're a top student and you also have a lot of extracurricular activities, there's a number of other scholarships you may apply for which do require a separate application. The deadline is typically the 15th of December, which is actually today for this intake. So I'm sure many of our applicants around the world are frantically working on their scholarship applications. I would encourage you to do it a little bit earlier than the day of.
Yeah.
We offer the International Entrance Citation Scholarship, which is a $40,000 one. We have a number of centenary scholarships at $30,000. And we also offer the Entrance Leader Scholarship at $7,500. So there's those 3 automatic scholarships, and if you submit a good application for the scholarships, you can also win one of the 3 other ones.
Mm-hmm. There are definitely a lot of options here. I think I lost track of what I'm writing down here, but I think
I had it written down.
Yeah, I think the thing to take home here is that there are plenty of scholarships that are available, and there are also scholarships available for NCUK students and also for Vietnamese students as well. So there are good options for students to apply for. And you said the majority of these scholarships are automatic scholarships. So as long as the student achieves a certain GPA, probably from their high school, or the grades from NCUK.
It would typically be based on your first semester NCUK results, as well as you can in them, and then you're more likely to be awarded automatic scholarships as well. And that applies to most Canadian institutions. Alberta probably has more in scholarship funding than many, but we do encourage early applications as funds are limited. So the earlier you submit your application with the required documents, the more likely you are to get that automatic scholarship.
Right. So no procrastinating, okay? You gotta do your homework and submit the application. Sorry. All right. Good to know. I think you already answered this question about the double major, so thank you very much for letting me know about that. What I would like to know more about is the Faculty of Business at the university. So what do you think the difference is between studying business at the University of Alberta and studying, say, the same field but in other universities in Canada? What makes the business or faculty of business at the university more unique?
So we have a strong overall ranking for the university, being in the top 5 universities in Canada. So that instantly means your degree is respected by potential employers, and also for graduate level studies, both in Canada and around the world. The business school itself has been ranked by the Financial Times of London in the top 100 business schools in the world. You have a wide range of majors to choose from. By your third year, you can choose one of 16 different majors. And we also offer an extensive co-op program where students are able to undertake paid work experience during their studies. One of the unique programs we have is our Business Prime program. And this is really designed for those students who are looking to work for financial institutions in the future. With a Prime program, students manage an active portfolio worth around 2 million Canadian dollars, which is traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So you get to research companies and see if they're good investments and then invest in them. And my understanding is in the last few years, it's been able to beat the tracker index for the TSX. It's outperformed the stock market. Students in that Prime program are in very high demand. So many of our big banks in Canada and from the US will come and actively recruit the students in that Prime program.
Wow. That's outstanding. I actually, that's new information to me. I never knew about it, but managing 2 million portfolio, that's incredible. That's this is, I would say this is the best hands-on experience you could ever get as a student, definitely. As I also wanted to ask you about work integrated learning, because a lot of the times it's important to know more about whether the university offers the student with the opportunity to do paid, like you said, there is an opportunity for paid work experience. Is this while the students are studying, or it's